Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to some more Formula 1 24 My Team career, this time for the Brazilian Grand Prix, so let's get right into it.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
So here I am out for my flying lap for the Brazilian Grand Prix, but more specifically for the sprint race. We are qualifying for the sprint race around just a really fun track, and I really wish they kind of did did this as the last race in the Formula 1 calendar again. But then again, I mean, what are the chances of a kind of championship decider going down to the final race over like the 24 races that we have now? I mean, I guess now this season, you know, with Norris and Verstappen, it might go down to the final race, but it's not gonna be like that every year. Maybe, I don't know, but nonetheless it is a very fun track. Currently Norris with the pole and us sitting in P22 as the car once again still has really decent front grip, but the back just is not happy, and really hard to control. It just snaps mid-corner, which isn't good when you want to be going fast. Norris goes across the line with the fastest lap, and we cross the line with the slowest. So yeah, still nowhere near where we should be, where we want to be, but you know, slowly moving up. Norris with the pole, Leclerc second, and Max Verstappen third. Let's see what we can do during the race.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7 mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Russell, Stroll, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly, Bottas, Ocon, Joe, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Sargent, Vesti and Red. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
So here we are lined up in P22 now. I decided to go onto the medium tyres because I thought, well, our car really eats the tyres up very quickly, so why not, instead of just going onto softs, doing well and then just falling off a cliff, we're falling probably from Mount Everest to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. That's actually how fast our tyres fall off and how big of a drop off it is. I thought, why not just go onto the medium tyres and just hope that they are still going to be quite competitive with the lap times towards the start, and then still good enough to be able to you know, keep me going right up until lap 12 and not, you know, drop off within the first 3, 4, 5 laps, because that's kind of what our cars, what the tyres on the cars been doing so far this season. But hopefully these mediums will hold up well. Now we got up to P16 within the first lap. Now on lap 2 over here, we are defending from the kick Sauber of Valtteri Bottas. Now that is the team directly above us in the kind of constructors, not really constructors battle, but kind of where the car performance is, as Sergio Perez DNFs from this race on lap 3, so not good for him, but we move up to P15. Now once again on lap 3, defending from Bottas, keeping the inside line to ourselves. Now can we unbrake the Finn? Oh, pretty much outbrake ourselves. But luckily for us, we do still manage to kind of get the switchback on to Bottas, but that was really, really close. And yeah, just broke way too late over there, and just missed the apex, which is what you really want to be hitting. Once again on lap 4, going on to 5, same thing over and over again. As you can see, the cars ahead just really pushing away. Much better car control that time around, pretty much braking exactly where we wanted to that time, and yeah, really good stuff over there. But as you can see, Guan Yu Zhou 4 seconds ahead already, and oh, that is not what you want. Losing the car, not really the tyres were fine, just losing the car, the slap from the back, which has been happening, you know, ever since, as I said. We kind of got a couple upgrades on towards kind of the front of the car. The front, the turn-in is actually really decent, you know, we have control of the front of the car, but because of that, it just kind of made the back even more unstable than it was at the start. Because at the start of the season, of course, we had that kind of weird flick mid-corner, which kind of over time got solved for like 2 or 3 races, where we got a couple upgrades, I guess slightly towards the back of the car, I don't know, it's kind of automated. It kind of solved itself, but now I'm pretty sure I saw like some front wing upgrades going on, which basically meant that the rear is more unstable. I'm not really sure if that's exactly why, but I mean, that's what I think is happening, going on. But yeah, that's been out, definitely cost us a lot of time. No front wing, having to complete 2/3 of the lap. And then, of course, pit in with a change. We actually did close up to the guys by a couple of seconds over there, but yeah, still nowhere there. Just our fault, the car just not being where we wanted. P21 in the race, and Pierre Gasly, driver of the day for the sprint. So, you know, not last once again, but Leclerc on the win, in the win, with Verstappen second and Norris in third. Let's see what we can do during race qualifying.
Hot laps around Interlagos. It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Okay, so qualifying for the race. Can we do better than qualifying for the sprint? I guess we will see. It's just some corners, really easy to mess up. When you mess up one corner, it's basically just, you know, keep messing up the next 2 or 3 before the straight. And as you can see already in sector 1, down half a second, which is a lot. A very, very, very large amount. You know, if it was like 2-3 tenths, then it would be like, yeah, sure, you know, we are, it's not that bad, but half a second already in the first sector to the fastest sector set is quite, you know, quite big. As you can see over there, just moving up and down. P15 I think was our best position. Now P18 really messed up that last corner, going to P17 for a while, but then nearly spinning out, having to control the car, brings us back down to P21 as we go across the line in P21. So again, you know, just not where we want the car to be, not what we want the car to kind of become. With Norris taking, I'm pretty sure, the pole, with Verstappen and Leclerc in second and third. So let's see if we can do anything during the race.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Russell, Stroll, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Leclerc, Ocon, Albon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Sargent, Red, Vesti, Gasly, Joe, and Sergio Perez completes our grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
So here we are lined up in P18 actually, because a couple people with some penalties. So let's see what we can do as a slight sound. And away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Already getting past Logan Sargent and Bottas, now sneaking down the inside of a couple cars over here, trying not to spin out over there on the curb. And a pretty decent start from P18 to P14, still with Magnussen hanging around the outside. Are we going to manage to keep ahead of the Haas over there? So he switches from the outside to the inside for the next corner, but we managed to stay ahead. So from P18 to P14, we will take that within the first sector of the first lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Going a bit wide out there, and actually means that Magnussen had a shot for going at us, but managing to stay ahead. Yeah, just really have to watch out at the start of the race where you are fully fueled, so quite heavy compared to, of course, qualifying spec. And of course, having to watch out for the tyres, not to overdo them too quickly. But that's really what I kind of struggle with in these games, is I don't really have like a preset for race lap. It's either flat out or just I'm not racing. I always go in for as hard, pushing as hard as possible on each lap, and that is definitely why the tyres are going off that much. But I mean, if I wasn't going flat out every single lap, then I'd get overtaken as well. So I really need to find that balance between not being overtaken and not pushing out fully flat out and ruining the tyres very, very quickly, and kind of making myself vulnerable towards the end of the stint when, instead of having some tyre life left, I pretty much don't. Now, skipping forward to lap 7, we, as we can see, just defending, trying to attack, defending, trying to attack. On to lap 8 over here. Got out a bit wide over there, and actually hit the back of the Haas of Nico Hulkenberg. Luckily, no damage, but that could have been quite bad, and half the front wing gone. If we would have hit that Haas a little bit harder, but still, on lap 8, trying to keep ahead of Bottas and skipping forward to lap 10, still in the same situation now. As we saw, we actually had a chance trying to overtake Nico Hulkenberg over there, but then we kind of just had that little slip up with hitting him. We have actually fallen back, and my tyres are now going off, and instead of having DRS from Hulkenberg each and every single lap, we're now a second and a half away from him. So that is bad for us in terms of defending from the guys behind, and bad in terms of the fact that I should have probably overtaken Nico Hulkenberg, but I didn't. And now I am in a very bad situation as I hit the microphone. But I thought, we are struggling on the tyres now, so let's just go in now on lap 10 and just replace the tyres now. Before it gets so bad that we just lose more time. As we saw over there, the front left actually had some troubles with taking off the front wheel. It actually cost us about 2 seconds, so you don't see that too often, but I guess pretty realistic. I'm not really sure what else they could add to make it more realistic. I guess if you could drive down the pit lane yourself, I mean, it would probably be hard to stop on the marks, but it would be quite fun. I always wanted them to add something like that in, that you can go in as on lap 12 we were doing good, catching up Vesti. We had a gap, I'm pretty sure it was from about 10 10+ seconds down to 7.5. And of course, everyone in front of me still needs to pit in, and further on lap 14, another near spin out. So that gap has changed from 7.5 to 14. Again, we started finishing, I guess, catching up once again. The gap being about, what was that, 11 seconds, another couple seconds off. Bottas pitting in ahead, and, well, spinning out once again and cutting across, not to lose too much time, but that costs us a 10-second penalty, so not really too good. And without all of those spins, the 4.5 seconds Bottas is ahead of us, you know, he would probably be back 2 or 3 seconds if we wouldn't have messed up over there. And instead of coming out in, you know, maybe P17, 16, 15, we are now currently P19, so, you know, still a couple cars to overtake. But once again, spinning out, just this car is just so undrivable. I'm not sure what it is with this game that makes it just so much more undrivable than the games before. I mean, on F1 2020 and 2021, it just was so much better than this. I mean, I remember having full control. I've got medium traction control, and in those games, I just felt way more comfortable in pushing, going onto the curbs, making full use of the full width of the track. But in this, I'm just scared to even look at a curb a funny way, because I'm just going to spin out and getting really cheeky with the defending over there with Logan Sargent, but he has definitely ruined some of my races this season. So getting a little bit cheeky is, I guess, the right thing to do. As of lap 22, we are currently sitting in a P19 with Sargent 2 seconds behind, so we're actually pulling ahead. So that is actually, you know, a good thing to see. And once more spinning out of T1, going into T2, and the 2-second gap that we had to Sargent and Guan Yu Zhou has now evaporated once again. What is that, the 4th spin of this video? Really not looking good. And on lap 23, either side, these tyres are going off once again. I don't think anyone else is going to pit, and we might as well just pit ourselves, because, I mean, we are out of the points, so might as well just, you know, play it risky with a different strategy and go in for some tyres. Now, I actually wanted to do this as a one-stop, but I was changing from the hards to the mediums in kind of like my pit settings as I was pitting in before it kind of locked in. I wanted to like prepare for like a next stop just in case I needed to pit, and I had it set as hards for that first stop, but I did change it to mediums accidentally before, so that kind of messed up my race in that kind of a way. But I mean, those spins definitely cost me the race as well. As lap 28, we are getting lapped. We got lapped by Sainz, and now Max Verstappen is behind, so we have to let him past. As wanted to let him past over there, but he kind of didn't want to overtake, and then we kind of go flying past. Luckily not taking out Max Verstappen, as Logan Sargent is out of this race. So, you know, every single time I'm running in last and thinking that I'm finally going to finish P22 this season, someone DNFs and we move up to P21, as we're actually keeping up with Max Verstappen now. These last like 6 laps when I got overtaken, I was actually keeping up with the drivers ahead, but finally having to kind of pull off, and you know, because I got blue flag from P3 down. So, but you know, for those couple laps, I was actually keeping up with Max Verstappen. I got DRS off him lap after lap after lap, so I'm not really sure if he had some damage, but I was actually doing quite well over there. And finally, the last kind of driver close enough to kind of lap me, Fernando Alonso. Actually, there is a Mercedes coming in very close. So is that Mercedes going to overtake me, lap me? No, they actually didn't. At lap 35, we crossed the line, and P21, so not P22 once again, but still, you know, far away from the points, with Sergio Perez picking up driver of the day. And yeah, still a long way to go in season 2.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and a new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. And Carlos Sainz sees the checkered flag and wins.
Well, great victory today for the final race of the season, and you take that energy with you through the end of the year, through the winter break, and it's important because your team lives off of that. You want them to deliver you the best possible car for the start of next season's campaign.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So there is Carlos Sainz wins with Max Verstappen in second and Piastri in third place. It's really weird to look at the results after a sprint weekend because you can't really just see the race kind of order. It kind of shows like in order of points scored, not where you finish. But yes, end of season 1. I really thought we would be scoring points, if not kind of close to podiums at the end, but still having fun, and hopefully for season 2, hopefully starting to get some points, podiums and wins and pole positions. Gonna switch things up, maybe get a couple new tracks in, maybe avoid the ones with the sprint format because I don't really enjoy that too much, but I guess we'll see. For now, that is going. So if you guys enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.